Caroline, thank you for coming. You're a pro when it comes to makeup.
Thank you for having me.
And makeup is not only about making people beautiful. It often, and especially in video production, it has a purpose.
Yes, that's true. Like personally for me, makeup is a kind of art. But at work, the artistic part is very low and mostly you serve a purpose, like for the video production, for TV, for interview and for corporate, when you are selling products, you need to fit the needs of the client.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We start with movies, like for example, when you watch a movie, you want people who watch it believe that this can happen in real life. So that means that makeup comes to a bare minimum. If we are talking about like normal relationship, you don't really need to make person look like a supermodel. You want to look them like a normal person. Sometimes you even need like to make them more ugly than in real life. But it's more like kind of a special effect era. But when it comes to movies, it's more like you almost look like real life, but you work on like some of imperfections. The funny part about TV, for example, is that the lighting is very strong. And the light settings are very important, and makeup artist has to know the different setups and adjust. Like I can tell you that in TV, for example, the lighting is very strong, and then like you need to make a person like a little bit of orange, but that person who was shot actually looks normal on the TV. And when it goes to corporate, it's like when you're working with businesses, the purpose of most of the businesses is to sell you a product. And when you come to selling, it has to be better than in real life, so that you kind of feel need for it. So then, then you take more and like work on imperfections and make people better than they are in real life.
So in short, movies is about
real people,
and then having this real effect. TV is because
special light.
Yeah, special lights in a bit orange, and corporate is about selling and then making it a bit more Photoshop, let's say.
Yeah, and for example, there is also a theater where makeup is needed, and because you look at the stage from far distance, it has to be very intense, and like it's always overdone. It's not supposed to be really perfect, but it's supposed to express character for fullness.
Let's stay on this topic of interview and corporate setup. How does it look like, and what do you do when you come to a client? I guess there's a big difference when it's a male or if it's a female.
I will start from the end. Like I will start with female and a male. The main difference between female and male is that in our society, females are able to do makeup, so it's socially acceptable behavior, and for male, it's not. So it's not still there, it's not still acceptable. And when we are talking about corporate world, you have like a guys, over 40 who come and they put to the fact that they have to receive a makeup. So I would always try to notify in advance, that they have to do that, because then person will work for themselves, like kind of accept, and then they will be more relaxed when they are on set. I never remember it's been a problem. Guys would more like laugh about it a little bit, maybe a little bit nervously, but still like make the joke, and never made any troubles, luckily. So yeah, that's the thing.
But that does that also means that on a guy you also need to put less makeup so that we don't see it, because if we see it, it's not good. Does that mean this as well, like this socially accepted?
Yes, male and female makeups are different in general. So when you do a male makeup, you use as little products as possible. You just work on imperfections. You like take off the circles. You put a little bit of foundation. Brush the eyebrows, maybe like correct a little bit line of the beard if they have. And the thing is that with a male, when you look at him at the end, it has to look like he has nothing at all. But he has. So that's true.
And on a female?
On a female, you don't have to be afraid of overdoing it. Like even you overdid it a little bit, it's still acceptable, and plus camera itself takes colors away, so it's easy in a way. So you don't have to worry that you did more than you should.
Yeah. And on set, with a client, a woman will usually already have makeup. So what do you do then? Do you remove and put new
Yes,
one?
normally I would remove and put it back on.
Professional style. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but often that would be also a topic that if you work with the models, for example, they usually come without makeup. And you can also talk to people in advance and you ask them not to wear makeup this day. And it's all safe time. Behavior, but in general, when we are talking about video production, makeup has a purpose, and in this case, we would be talking about very hot light. Video lights can get very hot. Plus, if person, for example, not comfortable being in front of the camera, they're not professional actors or professional models, then it would be quite stressful task for them. So, and it will probably result with a sweat. So the main thing you want to know when you do video production is that person does not sweat. So you take use powder, you use kind of a base which close your pores completely. So yeah.
And you told me before there's areas where we sweat first, right?
Yeah, it's called T area. It's just here, your front and your nose. This area known as T-zone. You actually have a product specifically called foundation for T-zone or base for T-zone. The second step would be to take off imperfections, which every person has, won't say or not. So it's always comes with a circle under the eyes. It's always comes with some small pickles. So some redness, some I don't know, a little bit of blue, a little bit of green, or whatever. At the end, you want person look one color. So, so you take off the imperfections and you put on foundation, which makes them skin tone is more of one tone. And then after you've done all of this, which is more important, then you can underline what you want to underline. Underline eyes, underline lips, eyebrows. Yeah, that's how it goes usually.
Yeah. So on the man, for example, it's a bit different. What you would underline? It's less the eyes, even if. the eyes as
Yeah,
well?
it's different. So if for women, you usually like the most dark zone, usually like in the corner of your eyes. Yeah, it's kind of like prolong your eyes, and it's like make it look a little bit like upper. Then for men, like if you, that's normally for models, not for like interviews, but you would put a darker color here, that the eyes would look like a little bit deeper. And sometimes you may be like a little bit underline eyes in like in the male variation, also like to have this kind of deep look, man look. Still manly, but maybe deeper. Yeah, the structures of the bones are different, and I think, yeah, in a man you're also like, you're not afraid of like these corners. It's also like kind of looks manly.
And then now how to prepare for it. For example, I know, okay, on Wednesday I will have an interview, I will get makeup. How should I behave? I should be prepared and I should be cool about it. But if is there something else so that I'm best prepared for it?
Yes, first you prepare yourself like mentally and emotionally. Then what you can actually do, like if you've been on a photo set or if you've been on a video shooting, is like, for example, go to your hairdresser, go to your barber, who like, if you have not done it for like a while, then it's always better to put your hairs in shape. It's also very nice if you care for your nails. It's just in regular life as well, so.
Yeah, hygiene. Things
Yeah, personal hygiene, but it's not only like a hygiene, it's actually like put your nails in a nice form. And if you're totally unable to do it by yourself, you better go to professional. Yeah, you do.
Very good. And during the makeup, is there something eventually to do, or just stay and still without moving, I guess? Not being
that's
careful,
not true.
not being afraid of the pencil, or is it?
No, that's not true. You don't have to like really be still and sitting like a still, no. Because like makeup artists actually used to work in stressful environments, and you basically like people would be occupied maybe with different things, and you would just like walk around, and sometimes if you need their attention, you just like bring their attention to you. And normally like the only thing is that if you see the instrument, like your eye gets a signal to your brain and gets scared. So that's why every time like I work like around the eyes, I would ask a person to look opposite side from the tool I'm using. So if I'm doing something under the eyes, I would ask to look up. If I'm doing the upper lid, then I would ask you to just like look down. No.
Yeah, so that means
you can relax and just enjoy the process. You don't really, as a receiver, you don't have to worry a lot. In general, as a makeup artist, I prefer to know who my model is. Because, for example, if I know the type of the skin, I can take only the products which I need for this type of the skin. And if I know if it's artistic or not artistic setup, then I also like I have to carry less with me then. And it is more convenient.
Quicker onset as well, right? Because you sort of already knows a bit of the color.
Yeah, it's very nice to have like a frontal photo of a person before. At least one day just to have a look. But mostly it's not happening. So and then you're like, okay, you bring in everything and you work with what you see.
And let's say now I'm a video creator, I'm a YouTuber, I film myself, and I want to put some makeup on me. Or, don't know, I got up this morning and I see like a little pickle, a little imperfection. Is there something that for newbies like me, for people without any equipment, what can I do?
Okay. So you want to know like minimum basic products you want to have.
Useful, yeah.
So like bare minimum, if you don't want to put makeup on yourself, would be like it's oil control paper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like no brand basically. You can buy them in a normal stores like DM, for example, or Rossmann. So what they do is it's basically a paper which you apply mostly on your T-zone and which takes sweat away, and it's like a little bit powder.
So sort of during, right? Or before as well?
Before, if you feel like something is running, then you just do it when you need it.
Okay.
So that's a number one to have. You like if you're not comfortable with wearing makeup on yourself at all. So then the funny thing, there is like this beauty hack, you can call it, because like dark circles usually a problem under your eyes. It's actually often not depending on how much person sleeps. It just, for some people it's more, for some people it's less. So you can do it with a lipstick. You need orange or red lipstick, which you apply under your eyes, but you really have to like blend it in very well, so that it's not red lines or anything like that. It's funny to do, but it's minimized products you want to buy. So like for example, you are clean shave and hairs actually also gives your skin, like roots of your hairs gives your skin a little bit of blue, so you can also cover this with red lipstick and then like really blend it in.
Because again, like when we see blue, for example, under the eye, the idea is to counter it with the opposite color.
Yes, there is like circle of colors, which is basic of yellow, red and blue, and colors in between is blue and red gets purple, red and yellow gets orange, and yellow and blue gets green. And the colors of an opposite line would neutralize each other. So blue you easily neutralize with orange, yellow you neutralize with purple, redness you neutralize with green. So that's easy. So then we come to imperfections, like we usually come to pickles, like maybe, I don't know, you was not really following a healthy diet and then like you have a little bit of redness on your face. I would recommend a base, green base. It's usually very transparent, but it's easy and it's easy to take off all the redness, no matter if you are just got a little bit of sun too much at the summer season, or it comes from the pickles. Yeah, that's a minimum product. I think it's easy, like there is some small palettes of concealers which usually contains purple, green and reddish. But yeah, you can maybe take just a lipstick and you can take just a green base.
Yeah. And then last is sort of similar with that, like the powder. What is that? Because it's so when we hear like makeup, usually people hear about like let's put some powder on your face, you know.
Powder is the last step. Before the last step, you still need a foundation. You basically go to any makeup store and ask person who works there which kind of foundation will be good for you. They are able, they're trained, they're often professional makeup artists, and they will find you foundation which matches the color of your skin. So don't be shy, just ask them. So like after you've done red and green, then you just put a very thick, very tiny little layer of foundation. After that, you would want to set it up with powder. I would recommend a transparent powder, loose powder, which you, like, no matter which color of skin you are, it just sets. That's why it's called transparent.
Yeah, the setting is again sort of like having it like.
No, you should not.
Set.
Yeah, it sticks the product, and you should not overdo it. Otherwise, you look like a cake.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry. Happens.
Yeah, good.
So, like, for example, if you don't want to use brushes, you can do everything with just a sponge. I would recommend always to have your sponge watered a little bit, because it prevents you to overputting a product. You can also actually use sponge for powdering. If you care for your skin, you also need a base.
Yeah.
So you would apply a base. Base is the first layer which glued makeup and which protects your pores from products getting in the skin and like result in.
And these base can be with colors, like again, it's like a green base, for example, or.
Yes, it could be with color. You could choose, for example, green base, or maybe you could choose some base which close your pores, which will result in like in more matte look. So it's up to you, up to what effect I actually want to achieve. So first would be base, secondary would be taken out of circles, which you're good to go with a lipstick. Then I would apply something for green. Second layer of base also could be green base, or you can also use some concealer. Then it would be foundation, and then to set it up, a powder. You also have like a setting up sprays, which is like more watery, and you're just like spray it and you're putting your face under it. So when it sets it up, that it's not running, you don't have to worry. Then the important, like next after we done all of this, it comes to underlining, and for a male it's usually important like eyebrows, and for example if they have a beard, to like kind of take off the spaces which may be naturally not filled with the hairs. So, and for this you can use cloves, which are a spice, and you can burn it with a fire and let it a little bit, like don't put it extremely hot on your skin because you will be injured, and it works same as a pencil. So, and you can just put a little bit, and never like put a full shadow, but more like draw hairs. And same with your beard.
It's a little.
But also like hair before, in advance, before you do makeup, for example, or go to your barber or hair by yourself with like a line of the beard that they're like nice, how you want them.
And the question as well is, once I have makeup on, for example, is there something I should not do, something I should be careful about? I guess like not touching my face, but I don't know, if it's well done, it's like don't worry about it. Or.
Well, it's better not to touch your face, in general, I would say. You can maybe accidentally like take some product off, or like, I don't know. it's often, for example, when you make up a person and then they're sick and then the result is like taking off makeup from the nose and you have to do a retouching. So, but yeah, just before you go to the camera, look yourself in the mirror. If you're happy, just go to the camera.
Yeah. And what about when you're female? What should you do when you're filming yourself?
When you're female, naturally you have all set of products, and I would recommend to find some professional makeup YouTube channel, look for some tutorials according to your race, type of skin, and just follow it and you will be fine. Now, I would add one thing is if you are female, because even in normal life, girls often forget base. And if you use makeup often, base is the number one product because it protects your skin from infection, from putting a product into your pores. So, base.
Caroline, thank you very much for your insights and see you soon on the set.